Sam Carroll and the rest of the team will be with you today from 7 a.m. to ensure constant coverage of all things LFC, including news, great photos, nostalgia, live interviews and much, much more. The Echo will also provide you with the very latest transfer news as it happens throughout the week, with every rumor and story digested and analyzed each day with updates from full-time LFC reporter, both home and away, James Pearce and more. There will be all the latest team news before games, plus every one of Jurgen Klopp's press conferences covered live and with video. We want you to get involved too. Tell us your thoughts on what's happening at Anfield by tweeting at LiveHalf or at Sam Carroll. Join the debate. 1852 Adam Jones. Well, that's all we have time for today. Worry not though, because we've got Sam Carroll back with you bright and early from about 7 a.m. tomorrow. We'll see you then. 1813 Adam Jones. Fabinho has sent a message to Liverpool fans from Instagram. https://www.instagram.com/p/bjxc3 or foy_/ taken dash by equals Fabinho 17:42 Adam Jones. Roberto Firmino has already joined up with his international teammates, as we brought you a little earlier. And that is in preparation for him to play against Croatia this weekend, at Anfield. The striker is already seriously looking forward to the occasion. It will be something unique to play at Anfield together with all Liverpool's fans, he told LiverpoolFC.com. It's a great stadium with a lovely pitch. It will be a fantastic atmosphere. It will be a huge pleasure for me to play at home because this is my home, so it will be a unique moment. Roberto Firmino takes part in a training session. Image, Mauro Pimentel, AFP, Getty Images. 1713 Adam Jones. This is an interesting little piece from the Mirror. They suggest that a tactical disagreement between Jurgen Klopp and American could be the reason for the latter's presumed departure from the club. Can has spent much of the current campaign either playing as a number 8 or deputising for skipper Henderson as the midfield anchorman. The former Bayern Munich youngster prefers to play in the latter position. But Klopp reckons that the former role, allowing him to surge forward, using his athleticism in a more advanced role, is the better fit for his red side. The ideal for Klopp was next season having Can, Naby Keita, Gini Wijnaldum and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain battling for 2 spots. Interesting. I've always thought he works better in that anchor role, but, as the piece suggests, this will be much less of an issue now that Fabinho has come in. Imre Can of Liverpool. Image, Andrew Powell, Liverpool FC via Getty Images. 1641 Adam Jones. We've had a few suggestions on what might be next for Marko Grujic. Whilst many think alone is the best option, there are still some who want him to fight for his place at Liverpool. 1620 Adam Jones. Want to see our lads Joe Rumour and Christian Walsh discussing Fabinho? Of course you do, and here it is. 1550 Adam Jones. Tell you what, this is some commitment from Roberto Firmino. I can't play 2 5-a-side matches in a week without being tired, let alone playing a full season and still linking up with your international squad early. Fair play to the lad. 1531 Adam Jones. Afternoon all. Sam's time is done, and you've got to put up with me again for the last few hours of the day. I can only apologize. Anyway, let's start off with the full story on that Salah injury update, shall we? 1510 Sam Carroll. Roma are close to signing Ajax duo Patrick Kluivert and Hakim Ziyech. Calcio Mercato have revealed today. Ziyech's agent has taken the cheeky move of updating his LinkedIn profile picture to an image of him standing outside the Coliseum, with Mercato reporting the club are in advanced talks over a double swoop. The Italian club have allegedly tabled a £40 million bid for the pair, but Ajax are holding out for a £50 million combined fee. With Roma the only club to have made a concrete bid, seemingly, it looks like both Kluivert and Ziyech, both linked with the Reds in recent times, could be plying their trade in Serie A next season. Italy bound. Image, Dean Mutaropoulos, Getty Images, 1442, Sam Carroll. According to FJ Diaz of Spanish outlet AS, Jan Oblak, who was widely reported to have signed a new deal at Atletico Madrid last week, is holding up the deal to keep his future options slightly more open. Oblak's problem is Madrid's insistence on including a bumper buyout clause in his contract, which currently stands at £75 million. The Slovenian, on the other hand, does not want potential suitors priced out of a potential move, but Atletico CEO Miguel Angel Gil is confident of securing a deal in the coming weeks as Liverpool are linked with the stopper. "He wants to stay with us and we want him to stay," Gil told Spanish radio. "We are going to try and make his release clause higher, signing a new deal." Image, Pau Barrena, AFP, Getty Images, 1422, Sam Carroll. Germany's coaching staff have all sent messages of support to Loris Karius after his errors in the Champions League final. Goalkeeping coach Andreas Kepke has confirmed the stopper is yet to be called up to the full national team but has represented his country at every youth level, and manager Joachim Low has been in touch with the player since Saturday evening. "We have tried to help him pick himself up and we wrote to him telling him to keep his head up," Kepke revealed. The criticism received afterwards was very borderline and totally incomprehensible on the part of experts with whom I played myself. Lothar Matthäus called it the worst goalkeeping display in the last 20 or 30 years. "It's a very brutal thing to experience. I hope he will be supported by Jurgen Klopp and by Liverpool so he can get through it." Low, coach Oliver Bierhoff and Kepke all texted Karius after the defeat in Kiev. Supported. Image, Sergei Supinski, AFP, Getty Images, 1412, Sam Carroll. Fulham owner Shahid Khan says that Ryan Sessegnon could well have departed Craven Cottage had Fulham not been promoted, but the billionaire reckons the starlet will lead his side back into the Premier League. The Cottagers returned to the Premier League after a 3-year absence after beating Aston Villa 1-0 at Wembley on Saturday, but Sessegnon, who scored 16 goals last season, has been linked with the move to both Liverpool and Spurs. "We don't want Sessegnon leaving," Khan said. "I don't think he wants to go. He's going to be at Fulham for the coming year, leading us into the Premier League. Frankly, if we had not been promoted, well, we have a responsibility to our players. He's been there since he was 8. We want to do the right thing for him and he is Fulham through and through." Staying put. 1351 key event. Liverpool physio Ruben Pons has opened up to Marca about the moments after Mohamed Salah's Champions League injury. Pons was one of the first on the scene following the Egyptian's shoulder injury and says the player should return in 3 to 4 weeks, meaning Salah faces a race against time to be fit for the start of the World Cup. "We knew that it was something serious as soon as Salah fell on the ground because he never complains. We were afraid of the worst." Pons said, "We were in the field until the break. I was devastated. I tried to transmit calmness. I told him that nothing could be done and that he did not worry too much. It was time to look for solutions and not to regret because things did not work." The Spaniard traveled with Salah to the hospital, where Salah could do nothing as his teammates fell to a 3-1 defeat. "We were watching the game. We were looking at social networks and the security was telling us the result. Madrid has scored. We equalized. When we came back the game was over. The whole team had changed and prepared for riding the team bus. We helped him change because he could not do it alone and we went to the airport. Once we knew the injury we planned the treatment. He is sad about what happened but he is totally focused on recovery and seeing when he can be ready. He is going to mark the recovery times. In principle it will be from 3 to 4 weeks but we are going to try to reduce those deadlines. That's the big goal. He'll be back, stronger than before." Image, David Ramos, Getty Images, 1337, Sam Carroll. Neil Warnock thanked Marko Grujic for his contributions to Cardiff's unlikely promotion charge last season, and Wales Online reckon the Serb could well return to Wales in the Premier League next term. Dominic Booth, assessing the chances of Grujic spending another year with the Bluebirds, writes, "At times, the on-loan Liverpool man looked a Rolls-Royce of a midfielder, and you could be confident he would cut it in a Cardiff Premier League team." Grujic is a Serbian international, and will head to the World Cup next month. The big issue for Warnock and his recruitment staff is whether Liverpool want Grujic among their first-team options next season. The arrival of £40 million midfielder Fabinho at Anfield could be a blessing for the Bluebirds. It may mean Liverpool are willing to allow Grujic out on loan for another year, and Cardiff, in need of midfield additions, could well benefit yet again. Do you think Grujic should remain on Merseyside or continue to gain experience elsewhere? Let me know in the poll below, and send your thoughts to @SamCarroll. 12:47 Sam Carroll. Newcastle United have been offered the chance to sign veteran centre-back Martin Skrtel this summer, the Chronicle report. The Fenerbahce defender, who made 320 appearances for Liverpool in an 8-year spell with the club, is available on a cut-price deal with his contract entering its final year, Turkish publication Photomax say. Skrtel, 33, has been linked with Rangers, and a possible reunion with Steven Gerrard, in recent times, but the Slovakian is apparently keen to return to the Premier League. He would also be linking up with former boss Rafa Benitez on Tyneside. Could the Spaniard be trying to get the band back together? It wouldn't look right seeing Skrtel in Newcastle colours, would it? Heading back to England, Martin, 12:32 Sam Carroll. Simon Hughes has offered the story to Liverpool's shock signing of Fabinho yesterday evening for The Independent, and he reckons the Reds have been pursuing their man since February. This has got to be one of modern football's best-kept secrets, hasn't it? Since the age of Twitter and the internet, can you name any other deals that were kept as quiet as this one? Send me your suggestions to @SamCarroll. In the meantime, though, Hughes also reckons the Reds beat a host of Europe's elite names to the signature of the Brazilian. It had been the deal which surprised everyone, aside from those involved directly, because Liverpool, with sporting director Michael Edwards leading negotiations, had quietly and aggressively been pursuing the Brazilian since February. He writes, in an interview with French radio, Fabinho would admit that Liverpool's determination to sign him had been more focused and personal. Roma stopper Alisson, heavily tipped to join the Reds this summer, has given his potential rival Loris Karius a message of support following the German's errors in the Champions League final. Alisson told Gazzetta Sportive, "I got very sad. We, goalkeepers, when we see a mistake of another goalkeeper, we end up feeling as if they were us. It's very sad to see this, but he needs to put his head up. It is part of football and life must go on. He has to be proud to have played in a Champions League final. Of course it's not what he expected, but it's part of football. We are also subject to errors. We need to work hard not to let this happen to us." Upset image, Lawrence Griffiths, Getty Images, 12:05 Sam Carroll. Ian President Jean-Michel Aulas reckons there is no rush for Nabil Fekir to decide his future ahead of the upcoming World Cup this summer. Liverpool are said to be in advanced talks with Fekir, but the French chief has rebutted such claims, Sky report. There is no information contrary to what I mentioned in the last match. Nabil Fekir has a past at Olympique Lyonnais. He has a future. Allah said, "We always try to go in the direction of the players. We will listen carefully. I will be at the match last night, where he will play with the France team." Fekir scored the second in a 2-0 win over Republic of Ireland. "It is a great pride for us to have a pure talent of selection training. We will probably know more after the World Cup. But for the moment, he is from Lyon and we are very proud of him. I do not have an appointment with the leaders of Liverpool. There is no urgency at all. We are perfectly serene. If Nabil wants to play the Champions League in Groupama Stadium next year, we will be delighted. Staying or going? Let us know, Nabil. Image, Philippe Desmazes, AFP, Getty Images, 11:42 Sam Carroll Fabinho Reaction 11:27 Sam Carroll Estonian FA have confirmed that Ragnar Klavan will miss their upcoming games with Lithuania, Latvia and Morocco as he recovers from a long-term health problem. Klavan was ill for a portion of the regular season but did return towards the end of the campaign, featuring on the bench against Real Madrid in Kiev. Get well soon, Ragnar. What a moment this was. Image, John Powell, Liverpool FC via Getty Images, 11:15 Sam Carroll Steven Gerrard is keen on bringing Harry Wilson to Ibrox on loan next season, the Scottish Daily Record report. Wilson gained his fourth cap for Wales last night in their goalless draw with Mexico, and manager Ryan Giggs praised Wilson and his young side. It's always difficult as an international manager to know what your best side is because of players who are playing, players who are in form, and also we have a group of players who were amazing a few years ago at the Euros, but what I wanted to do was bring the quality just underneath that, which brings the quality up with the established players with younger players pushing for their places. That's what I want. I've seen that this week. They were all magnificent and that's what I want. With Wilson impressing on loan at Hull last season, 7 goals and 3 assists in 11 starts isn't too shabby, is it? Some Reds have called for him to be included in the first-team squad next season. The Record, though, believe Gerrard will attempt to use his good relationship with Jurgen Klopp to bring Wilson to the club on a temporary basis. Welsh Wizard 11:05 Sam Carroll What would you do if you just signed for Liverpool? Drink champagne on a private jet, of course. Christian Walsh has more on Fabinho's transfer celebration here. 10:52 Sam Carroll Liverpool have been heavily linked with the move for Alisson since the Champions League final, so much so that Roma's sporting director Mancha has been moved to speak on the reports. The former Sevilla chief has confirmed there has been no concrete offer from Liverpool, but does say the goalkeeper could leave should the right offer be made to both Roma and the Brazilian himself. In order for a player to leave, there have to be 3 elements in place: an offer, a yes from the club and from the player, he said. As of today, we have nothing of the sort. We are happy to keep him. Transfer rumors are normal at this stage. Incoming. 10:36 Sam Carroll Danny Murphy reckons Loris Karius will never play for Liverpool again after his Champions League final performance against Real Madrid. Jurgen Klopp entrusted the goalkeeper with a number 1 jersey for the second half of last season, and reports suggested he was eyeing the keeper as a long-term option at Anfield. After 2 errors in Saturday's final, however, things could have all changed, with rumors suggesting the Reds could now move for Roma's Alisson. I actually feel sorry for him. I really do, Murphy said after appearing on TalkSport. Nobody goes into a game wanting to make mistakes. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll play in a Liverpool shirt again. It's impossible for him, I think. With the magnitude of the mistakes and the enormity of the game, the supporters will struggle with him being in goal for them. And the continual ribbing he will get week in, week out, wherever he goes, that's going to be huge pressure for him. I just can't see him playing again. That's not being dramatic, that's a reality of the situation. Do you agree with Danny? Let me know at Sam Carroll. Oh, will Loris play for the Reds again? 10 o'clock Sam Carroll Italian outlet Tutto Mercato report that Lazio stopper Thomas Strakosha is in the sights of Liverpool. The giant Albanian stopper is only 23, but made himself a regular for both club and country last term. He didn't miss a single game in the Serie A last season, helping Lazio reach the Europa League. Mercato say that the Reds are readying an opening offer of £25 million for the player, with Lazio inquiring about the availability of legendary Spanish stopper Iker Casillas to replace him should he leave. Will Karius remain at Liverpool this summer? Image, David Ramos, Getty Images, 9:15 Sam Carroll. It's fair to say Liverpool got a pretty good deal when they forked out £36.9 million on Mohamed Salah last summer, and now the Daily Mail say the Reds will return to Roma for their goalkeeper Alisson. Dominic King writes that despite entrusting Loris Karius with the #1 jersey at Anfield for the second half of last season, his calamitous performance in the Champions League final has left the German's future hanging in the balance. Klopp has now reportedly made Alisson his priority target after getting the Fabinho deal over the line, but Roma are not interested in any bids below £60 million after being burned by Salah's low fee last year. Roma were forced to balance the books with Salah's sale, but now the Italian side are on stronger financial footing. They can name their price to the Reds. King, though, writes that Klopp has shown he is willing to spend big for the right man with the acquisition of Virgil van Dijk, and is willing to do it again for the Brazilian. #1 target. Image, Getty Images, 8:50 Sam Carroll. Luis Suarez has sent his best wishes to Liverpool's Mohamed Salah ahead of the World Cup in Russia this summer. Reds stick together, don't they? Uruguay are scheduled to kick off their tournament against Egypt on the 15th of June, and when asked if Salah missing the game due to injury would be a bonus for his nation, the former Liverpool man replied, "The reality is that no one is happy when a colleague suffers an injury, even more so when that happens in a match as it did, just before a World Cup. He is in a difficult situation, but I've consistently said I always want to play against the best to demonstrate that Uruguay are better." Suarez will know Salah's plight better than most after suffering a knee injury before the 2014 tournament in Brazil. He was in danger of missing out but recovered to net against England in a 2-1 win. "I would love Salah to have a good recovery and enjoy the World Cup," he added. "He's in the same situation as me 4 years ago and I don't wish this on anyone." 8:32 Sam Carroll. Arsenal made a late attempt to hijack Liverpool's deal for Fabinho, Sky Sports reported last night. Unai Emery is a long-term admirer of the player and wanted to make him his first signing as Gunners' boss. With this in mind, Arsenal made advances over the weekend. Happily, Fabinho revealed to Emery that he had made up his mind and would be joining the Reds. "You snooze, you lose, Arsenal." He turned down the Gunners. Image, Nick Taylor, Liverpool FC via Getty Images.